Maharaj, please take a seat. Chair. Yeah. They are getting a chair for you. Thank you. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यामुनतीर वनचारे यामुनतीर वनचारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for kindly being present here today. I am very grateful to each and every one of you for kindly being here today. Especially there are many disciples of Srila Prabhupada here. His Holiness Shachinandan Swami Maharaj, I am very grateful that you are kindly present here. Mother Narayani, I am very grateful you are kindly present here. His Holiness Bhakti Bhagavat Swami Maharaj, thank you so much for kindly being here. All other disciples of Srila Prabhupada, I am very grateful that you are kindly present here. And all the devotees who have come here, thank you very much, dear devotees, for being present here. The success of the assembly is in the hands of the audience, and all of you are present here today as the audience. Thank you very much for kindly giving your time and being present here. Thank you, Dharmatma Prabhu, for kindly organizing the talk. I am also very thankful to my family relative, Krishna Balram Prabhu, who is present here. Dear devotees, we will begin today's talk on Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 67. The verses are 12 and 13. So 12 and 13 are the verses. And we'll begin with Mangala Charan, auspicious invocations. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Soyam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama राम राम हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for kindly being present here today. I am very happy to be speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 67th chapter, verse number 12. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tasya dhārṣṭyaṁ kaper vīkṣya taruṇyo jāti-cāpalāḥ hāsya-priyā vijahasur baladeva-parigrahāḥ. Synonyms: tasya, of him; dhārṣṭyaṁ, the impudence; kapeḥ, of the ape; vīkṣya, seeing; taruṇyaḥ, the young women; jāti, by nature; jāti-cāpalāḥ, not serious; hāsya-priyā, fond of laughter; vijahasur, laughed loudly; baladeva-parigrahāḥ, the consorts of Lord Baladeva. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: when Lord Baladev's consorts saw the apes' impudence, they began to laugh. They were, after all, young girls who were fond of joking and prone to silliness. The verse doesn't have any purport, so we'll read the next verse. Please repeat after me. ताहेलयामास कपेर वृक्षेपैर्सम्मुखादिभिः दर्शयन् स्वगुदं तासां रामस्य च निरीक्षतः. Translation: even as Lord Balaram looked on, Dvivida insulted the girls by making odd gestures with his eyebrows, coming right in front of them and showing his anus. Purport: Srila Prabhupada writes, the gorilla was so rude that even in the presence of Sri Balaram, he began to show the lower part of his body to the women, and sometimes he would come forward to show his teeth while moving his eyebrows. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti states that Dvivida would come right up to the women and move about, urinate, and so on. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripam tamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, this particular chapter is about Shri Balaram's killing of Dvivida on the mountain named Raivataka. The mountain Raivataka derives its name from Revati Devi, who is the consort of Sri Baladev, and Revati Devi was personally present on this particular mountain when this incident took place. The previous chapter was about the killing of Paundraka, And the chapter previous to that was about Sri Baladev going to Vrindavan and pulling the Yamuna. So sequentially, after Sri Baladev's pulling the Yamuna, this chapter should have been there, says Srila Sridhar Swami. But in between, Srila Sridhar Swami says Shukadev Goswami mentioned the incident of Paundrak, the false Vasudeva. Otherwise, sequentially, he wanted to describe this particular event. So, Sri Parikshit Maharaj's enquiry was specifically about Sri Balaram's incarnation and pastimes, and Dvivida was the counselor and minister of Sugriv from the previous age, and Sugriv's brother, who is named as his Dvivida's brother named Mainda, was a very powerful general in the army of Bhagwan Shri Ram. They are so powerful as associates that Dvivida and Mainda, their deities are worshipped along with the deity of Shri Ram when Avaran Puja, when deity worship of Shri Ram is done by householders. So, Sri Jiva Goswami in the Bhakti Sandarbha says that deities of Dvivida and deities of Mainda, who later may have become unfavorable towards Bhagwan, are still worshipped in Avaran Puja. Avaran means deities that surround the main deities of Bhagwan are called as Avaran, covering deities. So when a householder, Grihastha, does puja, these deities are placed around the main deity of Bhagwan. It is called as Avaran Puja. And it is very surprising to notice that after his friend Narakasur or Bhaumasur was killed, Dvivida became unfavorable towards Bhagwan. And this was not the only cause of his becoming unfavorable. He also became unfavorable by association with Bali in the previous age. Originally he was associated with Bali, and for that reason, because Bali was killed by Bhagwan Ram, he already had some negativity towards Vishnu Tattva. And that negativity was solidified when Krishna killed Narakasur or Bhaumasur, and in order to take revenge, he again tried to kill Balaram and Krishna. So he began with destroying the areas around Dwarka. Raivatak Parvat is around Dwarka. Many historians say today that in Gujarat, the hill named Girnar, there is a very famous hill in Gujarat named Girnar. It's a very tall hill. That hill is the Raivatak Parvat, where Sri Baladev performed this pastime. So he would often go to Dwarka, and Dvivida would often go to Dwarka and create lots of disturbances. Yesterday, His Holiness Shachinandan Maharaj described how he used both his hands to create tsunami waves of destruction that would affect the kingdom of Dwarka. Sri Baladev was intoxicated on Raivatak Parvat, and in an intoxicated state, Sri Baladev was singing. So dear devotees, Sri Baladev singing is described by Sri Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Would you like to hear the intoxicated singing of Sri Baladev? Yes? Alright. I am speaking a verse from Sri Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which is describing the intoxicated singing of Baladev. This verse is in the meter Prithvi. Please hear carefully. Bhava Brahmati Medini Lambate Chandrama Krishna Vavadadrutam Hasanti Kim Vrishnaya Shishid Muncha Me Papapan Patrastitam Madas Khalitamalapan Haladarashriyam Vakriyat. So I'll also translate the verse. Sri Baladeva is intoxicated. Sri Rupa Goswami says, Baba Brahmati Medini, the earth is spinning around. La 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 lambate chandrama, the moon is hanging upside down. Krishna, Vavada Drutam, speak quickly. Hasanti kim Vrishnaya, why are the Vrishnis laughing on me? Shishi dumunchame papapana patra sthitam, give me wine in my drinking vessel. Madas khalitamalapan haladhara, may Bhagavan Haladhar, who was faltering in intoxication in this way, Shriyam Vahakriyat, bestow auspiciousness on all you transcendental drunkards. Sri Rupa Goswami. Blessings of Sri Rupa Goswami. So, this is Sri Baladev, and we come to know that the four regulative principles are not strictly applicable in the spiritual world. They may be applicable very strictly for sadhakas or those who are practicing devotees. But in the spiritual world, in the association of Bhagavan, because it is the spiritual world, therefore, the rules of Shastra don't apply so strictly. They are applicable very strictly to practicing devotees in the material world. So that Siddhanta is very clear. Dear devotees, then at this particular point of time, the monkey, he started coming in front of these particular women, and women were headed by Revati. These were queens of Sri Baladev. And taruṇyo jāti-cāpalāḥ. So the verse says they were young and jāti-cāpalāḥ, by nature they are frivolous. It's the nature of young girls to be frivolous, and they look good when they are frivolous. So dear devotees, they were frivolous by nature and they started laughing. Sri Sanatana Goswami says in the commentary, Nacha mahaduštādapi tasmāt bhayadikam. They did not express any fear of this particular demon, Dvivida. Why? Baladeva-parigrahāḥ, because they were with Baladev. They knew that he has the capacity to pull the Yamuna. This is like entertainment in a zoo. I hope you are able to understand. The only difference is that the animal is not inside a cage. He is giving a live demonstration of his abilities. That is why they started laughing. So he was angry, Dvivida, and he wanted to infuriate Sri Baladev. Therefore, in the next verse, it is said that ta helayamasa. He started disrespecting those queens. Not Sri Baladev, he started disrespecting those queens. Bhrukshepair, he was raising his eyebrows like a monkey, and Sammukhadivi means Sammukha Gamanadivi, going near them, is showing his teeth. The previous verses also said kilkila. He was giving the kilkila sound. Kilkila is the screeching of the monkey, which you can hear commonly here in Sri Vrindavan. Screeching sound of the monkey, showing his teeth. Usually monkeys, they put their fingers around their teeth, they show their teeth and making a screeching sound. And when that was not enough, he showed his private parts in front of the queens. And Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur adds to that, he started urinating and defecating in front of the women. At that time, Sri Baladev decided that today should be his disappearance day. So, now dear devotees, in verses after this it will be described that he was not satisfied simply with that. He took the Varoni pot of Baladev and smashed it and then personally started attacking him. But this entire pastime of Dvivida has deep adhyatmic significance. Adhyatmic means Every pastime in the Srimad Bhagavatam also has a dimension which is applicable to practicing devotees. That is known as Adhyatmik Artha. Many of us might have heard of the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. So we know of that pastime, and it is a historical pastime which took place. But within every pastime there are some hidden meanings for the practicing devotees, and that is what we are interested in. For example, in Dhruva Maharaj's pastime, it looks like a very simple pastime. Dhruva Maharaj's father was named Uttanpad. He had two wives. What was the name? Suruchi, Suniti. His favorite wife was Suruchi. Suruchi's son was Uttam. Suniti's son was Dhruva. He made Suruchi's son sit on his lap, Uttam, but would not let Dhruva sit on his lap. Simple historical pastime, but many commentators have given the Adhyatmik, the meaning which is relevant for the sadhakas. Dear devotees, one meaning, the meaning of Uttan Pad is, Uttan means upside, Pad means feet. Uttan Pad means whose feet are up, in the upward direction. So the living entity within the womb is Uttan Pad, because in the womb the living entity's feet are in the upward direction. Uttan Pad is a representative of the living entity. And as soon as the living entity takes birth, the living entity has two tendencies, two prakritis. Suruchi, what is very favorable and good for sense gratification. Suniti, what is good for ultimate benefit. But the living entity is conditioned, therefore the living entity becomes more attracted to which tendency? Suruchi. Doesn't pay attention to Suniti. When he associates with Suruchi, he gets Uttama. Uttama is the best sense gratification in the world. But if he associates with Suniti, he will get Dhruva, fixed intelligence in Bhagavan. But the living entity is so poor that he is attached to whom? Suruchi, and does not pay attention to Suniti. And therefore Uttama always sits in the lap of the living entity. This is Adhyatmika. This is the meaning which is applicable to the sadhakas. Such meanings have been given even by Srila Prabhupada in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita. In the first verse, Srila Prabhupada gives that analogy. Pandavas are like good crops, Kauravas are like the weeds, Krishna is like the farmer. The bad crops within the heart have to be first removed by the farmer, and then the good crops have to be planted. And that is the meaning of Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetra. So, this is called as Adhyatmik Artha. There is a layer of meaning which is going on simultaneously in all the pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's difficult to catch those meanings. Similarly, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahasaya has given Adhyatmik meanings of all the pastimes of Sri Krishna in the 10th canto, in Krishna Samhita. So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, what is the meaning of this pastime of Dvivida? So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his Krishna Samhita, in 6th chapter, verse number 20, he says, Balopi Shuddha Jivoyam. Baladev represents the pure living entity, the spiritual master. But Krishna Prema Vasham Gataha. And this living entity who is pure, who is the Guru, is there. But Avadhi Dvividam Mudham. As Guru, he kills the tendency named Dvivida. And what is the tendency in the heart? Nirishwara Pramodakam. The tendency to become godless and atheistic even after coming on the path of bhakti is represented by the demon Dvivida. So this is Adhyatmik Paksha. This is the meaning which is hidden within the pastime as revealed by our previous acharyas. So this meaning should be sought after also by those who are sadhakas, those who want to improve in their spiritual life. Sometimes impersonal commentators flatten the entire pastime to this one meaning. They say the pastime never took place in reality. Actually, this is the meaning behind the pastime. But this is not the case. This is one layer of meaning, but in history the pastime actually took place. So we should not flatten the meaning of the pastime only to this particular sense. Then it is okay to accept adhyatmic meanings or meanings which are relevant for us practicing devotees. Because Srila Prabhupada often used to complain about one commentator on the Gita who said that Mahabharata is not real, Kurukshetra is not real. Actually, it represents the enemies within the heart. So that is the problem which is created when you flatten the entire pastime to one layer of meaning and you discard the historical reality of the pastime. So this pastime, all these pastimes, they took place in reality in history, but they also have a deeper significance for the practicing devotees. Sri Jiva Goswami says in Bhakti Sandarbha, Ramadi Upasanayam Mainda Dvividadaya Avarana Devatas. In the worship of Sri Ram, we have to worship Dvivida and Mainda who became unfavorable to Bhagavan, and we have to worship deities of Dvivida and Mainda. How do we understand that? He says, Tadiya Nitya Dhamagata Nityaha Shuddhascha Gyeya. He says, these Dvivida who is worshipped on the altar surrounding Sri Ram is the Dvivida from the spiritual world, and the Dvivida who was present here in the material world is Shakti Avishta Jiva. He is not the same Dvivida who is present in the spiritual world. He is a living entity who has the empowerment of that Dvivida. But he says sometimes those living entities in the material world, they become unfavorable towards Bhagavan. But the original Dvivida in the spiritual world, in the abode of Bhagavan Ram, is very favorable to Bhagavan. Similarly, Sugriv also, in his presence, he became unfavorable towards Bhagavan and towards Dharma, because he had promised Bhagavan, after 4 months of Chaturmasya, I will send out my armies to search for Sita Devi. In those 4 months, he forgot everything. He got the kingdom of Bali. He took the wife of Bali, and in 4 months he broke all the 4 regulative principles in presence of Bhagavan Ram, while Bhagavan Ram was present nearby. And later Sugriv forgot his promise. So sometimes these living entities who have the same power as the eternal associate Sugriv and Dvivida, sometimes they become unfavorable. Sri Jiva Goswami says that is because of partial contact with material energy. That is what Sri Jiva Goswami says in the Sandarbhas. So otherwise, when we worship Dvivida on the Avaran as covering deity of Sri Ram, it refers to that Dvivida who is in the spiritual world, not the Dvivida who became unfavorable towards Bhagavan. Now that we know that by association of Bali and Narakasur, Dvivida became unfavorable, Sri Jiva Goswami says, as soon as a person gets unfavorable association, they have to understand something. They become unfavorable in steps, not immediately. How does one lose bhakti? We know how does one gain bhakti. Adav Shraddha, Tatah Sadhu Sangha, Tato Bhajan Kriya, Tato Anartha Nivritti. We know the steps of gaining bhakti. Let's hear about how one loses bhakti. And Srila Jiva Goswami gives the various symptoms of losing bhakti. He gives 5 symptoms of losing bhakti. Please hear and please repeat after me. First symptom, please repeat. Kautilyam. Kautilyam is kutilasya bhava. Crookedness within the heart comes with bad association. I heard one devotee saying we should rejoin ISKCON because Otherwise, you will not be able to survive even in the society of devotees. When the mind becomes convinced about this fact, then Kautilya begins. And this Kautilya begins with many aspects. First is Dhana Kautilyam. Well, society will be good to me, the devotee society will be good to me if I have money. Because money is the honey. If I give money, everybody in the society will be good to me. Let's say tomorrow he becomes unfavorable. I will go to him and give him a donation of 10,000 rupees. Bolo. Now are you favorable or unfavorable, Prabhu? Externally you have to be favorable, isn't it? So I can force everybody to be favorable by giving money. In Sanskrit it is said, Mridango mukhalepena karoti maduram dhvanim. This mridanga also, if you put a paste on it, it will give a sweet sound. It is dead. Ordinarily it is considered non-living. Even if you put a paste on it, it will give a sweet sound. So if you paste somebody's mouth with money, they will also give sweet sounds. I hope you are able to understand. This is how you survive in the society of devotees. So this is Kautilyam. So even in the society of devotees, rather than cultivating bhakti, knowledge of bhakti, one starts cultivating. This is what one is supposed to do. This is not counting money. This is counting beads, dear devotees. But instead of counting beads, one starts counting money. Kutila Lakshmir Yatra Vasati Saraswati na Vasati Tatra. Shastra says, where Lakshmi resides, Saraswati doesn't reside. And where Saraswati resides, Lakshmi doesn't reside. Why? Because they are related to each other as mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Lakshmi is the wife of Sri Vishnu, and from Sri Vishnu Brahma is born, and Brahma's wife is Saraswati. So Lakshmi and Saraswati are related as mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. I don't need to speak much about mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relationships. It is clearly evident around the world. Usually such relationships are not very favorable. Either you earn Lakshmi or you earn Saraswati. Some devotees make the choice, I want to earn Lakshmi. Then you are going to lose out on Saraswati, getting divine knowledge of the previous acharyas, and then people may respect us externally, but this Kautilyam will be within our heart. And this Kautilyam is the first stage, first symptom of aparadh towards Bhagavan and towards the devotees. Second, please repeat after me, Ashraddha. Ashraddha means a feeling of faithlessness towards Shastra. Faithlessness, but specifically towards Shastra, towards scriptures, develops within the heart of the devotee. Shastra was written 5,000 years ago. Now much of it is not relevant. Today we need to adapt Shastra in order to make it relevant for the 21st century. So Shastra should fit in the box of the 21st century. 21st century will never fit in the box of Shastra. I hope you are able to understand. This mindset is known as Ashraddha, that Sri Vyasadeva could not give us all the instructions that are relevant for us. So this Ashraddha takes root in the heart of the devotee. Although the devotee has not fully read Shastra. Vyasadeva says in the Mahabharata, Yad ihasti tad anyatra yan nehasti na tat kvachit. What is there in Mahabharata you will find everywhere else in the world. But what you will not find everywhere else in the world, that also you will find in the Mahabharata. There are big management books which are written using the principles of Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita. And after people read these fancy management books, they come to the conclusion that Vyasadeva did not give knowledge which is relevant for the 21st century. See the irony of the situation. I hope you are able to understand. So, Ashraddha develops within the heart of the devotee. This is the second symptom. Third symptom, please repeat after me. Bhagavan nishtha chyavaka vastu antara abhinivesha. The mind starts getting absorbed in other things which are not related to Bhagavan. I uselessly spent so many years in bhakti, better I would have gone to the gym and made my muscles. It's okay to keep good health, I am not speaking against that. But the mindset is what is problematic here. I uselessly spent so many years behind bhakti. I might as well would have spent it enjoying the world outside. So objects different from Bhagavan start appearing very palatable. Fourth is, please repeat after me. Bhakti shaithilyam. Bhakti becomes very loose. The hand is in the bead bag, but there are no beads inside. I have seen sometimes the hand is in the bead bag, but there are no beads inside. So that is called shaithilyam. Shaithilyam means bhakti has become very loose. Sadhana, bhakti has become very loose. And last one, please repeat. Swa, bhakti, adi, krita, manitvam. Taking great pride in whatever bhakti I have done. These people are surviving because I gave so much donation 5 years ago. All these people, I made them devotees. Today they are devotees because I made them. Arey, junior devotee, what are you doing nowadays? So this mindset, I hope you are able to understand. So in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, this is known as the 10th aparad. Aham mamadi paramo. I and mine is the greatest in the life of this devotee. Namni sopi aparadakrit. So such a devotee is now eager to attain fame and name in the society of devotees by whatever he has done. Pratishtha shukari vishtha. In the Smritis it is said, desire for fame is like the stool of a hog. It's a very strong term used. Does anybody know why it is referred to as the stool of the hog? So I'll give a reason behind that, because there is a reason why things are spoken in this way. All other animals, when they defecate, when they give out waste, they don't eat that same waste, except for one animal. Which animal is that? Hog. So imagine a person who is currently very famous. Let's say a politician who is very famous. He attains a lot of fame in the material world. Then he dies and doesn't attain perfection. He takes another birth. In another birth, in his school, he is reading, there was a politician who was so famous. And he thinks, I should become as famous as that person. He is eating his own stool from his previous life. I hope you are able to understand. So, pratishtha, shukari vishtha. So these are the symptoms of people who gradually fall down from the path of bhakti. Therefore, you need Sri Baladeva, who is the representative of the Shuddha Jiva. Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, who is the representative of Guru. And Sri Baladeva, he has a capability. When he went to Tal 1, it was not Sri Krishna who brought down the Tal trees. Who brought down the Tal fruits? Sri Baladeva. There is a very hidden meaning behind that pastime. The fruit is named Tala. In Sanskrit, there is no difference between the syllables la and ra. So you can exchange la and ra. So Tala becomes Tara. Tala phala becomes Tara phala. And Tara refers to the original Vedic syllable Pranav, Om. And Tara is Om, and Tara phala, the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature, is Krishna Prem, dear devotees. So that is tala phala. It is located on a very high tree that the living entities cannot access. Therefore, the living entities take help of one particular personality. Who is that? Sri Balaram. Balaram goes to the tree of Vedic literature, tala vriksha, shakes the tree, Sri Guru shakes the tree of Vedic literature, and the ripened fruit of Sri Krishna Prem falls within the hand of the practicing sadhaka, which otherwise could not have fallen. That is the adhyatmic paksha, the meaning applicable for the sadhakas. Sri Baladeva killing Dhenukasur. So it is who by gifting tala phala, the sweetened tala is the ice apple. In English it is known as ice apple. It's not easily available here, but from where I am coming in the western part of India, it's very easily available. Tala phala. So it's a very sweet fruit. So that tala phala is easily available when Sri Baladeva shakes the tree of Vedic literature. So that is the reason why we need Sri Baladeva for such pastime. We need Sri Guru, who can chastise us at the proper time. It's very important to receive chastisement from the Guru. I will end with this verse. Girbhir gurunam parushaksharabhis tiraskritāyanti nara mahatvam alabdha shanot kashanan nripanam najatu maulau manayo vasanti. Girbhir gurunam parushaksharabhis. When the Guru uses harsh words to chastise a disciple, that is very good fortune for the disciple. Disciples who are critiqued and chastised by the Guru later become very well situated in their spiritual life. Very well situated. Why? Alabdha shanot kashana. Those gems which have not been polished nicely do not become worthy of decorating the king's crown, dear devotees. Therefore, just as a gem needs beating and polishing, the disciple also needs polishing by the harsh words of the Guru. Otherwise, the disciple will think everything is okay, and the Guru will think everything is okay. And then everything will remain only okay. It will not become extraordinary. I hope you are able to understand. So therefore, it's important that the Guru should correct and chastise from time to time. Therefore, the need of a living Guru who can chastise the disciple. Therefore, because only a living Guru who is present in front of the disciple can observe the mistakes of the disciple and correct the disciple. For learning simple alphabet, ABC, we learn from a living personality. Therefore, for learning spiritual life, which is much more complicated and as sharp as a razor's edge, we definitely need the guidance of a living personality who already has achieved the stage of Shri Krishna Prema. I'll pause my speech at this point of time. Thank you very much. Yadatra skhalitam kinchid vidvam sah purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchid tad guror eva me nahi. Yadatra skhalitam kinchid. If I made any mistake in speaking something, vidvam sah, you are learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct any mistakes. Yadatra saushthavam kinchid. But if there was anything nice, please remember, tad guror eva. It belongs to my Gurujanas. Who are my Gurujanas? My Diksha Guru, my Shiksha Gurus, Srila Prabhupada, all the God brothers of Srila Prabhupada, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in all the families of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who appeared in the past, who will appear in the future, and who are present, including all of you are also my Gurujanas. It belongs to you, me nahi. It doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari. So, Panchagauda Prabhu, I'm sorry, Vaisheshika Prabhu, I'm sorry I saw you later. Thank you so much for kindly being present. Nirakula Mataji, thank you so much for kindly being present here. Yes. Yes.
You mentioned that we should rejoin ISKCON. What do you see are the significant ways that we've left ISKCON?
Yeah, what are the significant ways in which we have left ISKCON? So, in many ways, although our physical bodies are residing within, and I am speaking for myself, in many ways our physical bodies are occupying property or space within the ISKCON property. That's a fact. But in many ways the mind might have left ISKCON, and by ISKCON I mean the society where pure Krishna consciousness is present is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada gave the name of the society from a verse of Sri Rupa Goswami, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi. An intelligence which is fully drenched in Krishna Bhakti Rasa. This is the verse which went into the formation of the name of our society. So actually Srila Prabhupada's intention is to call it International Society for Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi. This is the intention behind the name of the society. International Society for a consciousness which is fully drenched in the Bhakti Rasa of Shri Krishna. That is the essential meaning of the name of the society. And wherever our mind is not absorbed in Bhagavan Shri Krishna in a favorable manner, and wherever we have become unfavorable towards Bhagavan and towards his devotees, mentally we have already departed from the purpose of the society to that extent, although our physical bodies may be residing within the property of the society. So, we are loyal to the society, no doubt, but we should be loyal to the society not only in word but also in principle. So, in principle, when we become fully Krishna conscious or when we develop a taste of Krishna Bhakti Ras, that is when we have fully joined or rejoined ISKCON as per the definition of the name given by Srila Prabhupada. And to the degree that we have become unfavorable towards devotees and towards Bhagavan, through these 5 negative symptoms, Kautilya, Ashraddha, to that degree mentally we have departed from ISKCON. The entire purpose was to develop Krishna consciousness. If that purpose was not developed, tatah kim? What is the use? Sometimes some devotees make an excuse. I am sorry for speaking some little strong words. Sometimes some devotees make an excuse that no matter how I behave, I will catch the dhoti of Srila Prabhupada. And I will go back home, back to Godhead. So this excuse should not be made, because we should first live up to the ideals that Srila Prabhupada has given within the society. And it's not that Srila Prabhupada has taken a contract for everybody that no matter how you behave, I have a contract that I will take you back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada is not obliged under any contract. But some devotees make it that way. And therefore it should be very clear that only a person who follows nicely and attains bhava and prema bhakti is eligible for attaining, going back home, back to Godhead. This is the Siddhanta given in Shastra. Bharat Maharaj could have also said, my Guru is Bhagavan himself, Rishabdev. I will catch the dhoti of my Guru and go back home, back to Godhead. But Bharat Maharaj had to take another birth. So even if your Guru is Bhagavan himself, you may have to take another birth. And sometimes I joke, for this reason Rishabdev never wore a dhoti, so that tomorrow nobody should say that I will catch the dhoti of my Guru and go back home, back to Godhead. Rishabdev never wore a dhoti, So, but it is good to say that I will catch the dhoti of Srila Prabhupada. But one should also say that I will become eligible to catch the dhoti of Srila Prabhupada. That mood is very important. So that is what is being said here. Dharmatma Prabhu, you have to tell me when to stop, alright? Because I am happy answering as long as, but you have to tell me when to stop. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for such elaborations, subtle level elaborations. You were initially saying Kautilya, giving sub-classifications, and you said one of them is Dhana. Are there some other things that...
Yeah, there were other. I was afraid of time. Should I give another form of Kautilya, crookedness? I will give another form of crookedness, because I have personally experienced all of them. So you are hearing from the experienced person. Bhojan Kautilyam. Crookedness in serving prasadam is one of the forms of Kautilya. There is a very nice verse. I come from Maharashtra. So there was a poet in Marathi. He wrote a Sanskrit verse. Because usually when we have marriages in Maharashtra, everybody sits down in a row, just like we sit in the temple here in a row. Everybody sits in a row and food is served. So usually the last item to be served is ghee. It is served on the rice. So when serving ghee, people become very miserly. So one time a person was serving ghee to this poet in a marriage function, and he served ghee very quickly, just like this, The poet became, oh my goodness, what happened? So he composed a verse on the spot. Sancharini kanchana valliriva vidyullatava patitana bhastha ghritasya dhara patitana jane divam gatava thabhuvam gatava. Oh my goodness, what happened? Sancharini kanchana valliriva. Was that a golden chain running away from me? That golden stream of ghee, was that a golden chain you snatched away from me? Or Vidyullata, was it a lightning strike which suddenly came and disappeared? I am not able to see it on my plate. What happened? Ghritasya dhara patitana jane. Where did that stream of ghee fall? Bhuvam gatava. Did it go inside the earth or went back in the sky? Where did it go? I am certain it did not go in my plate, wherever it went. So this is Bhojan Kautilyam. You want to serve, but you don't want to serve. That is Bhojan Kautilyam. Another example is Vadhu Mash Mapanyay. Another example, there was a Brahmana who decided on every Dwadashi, I will give one fistful of kidney beans, rajma, as donation to anybody who comes on my doorstep. So first Dwadashi he gave. Second Dwadashi the news spread around. There were many more people who came, and everybody he is giving one fistful of kidney beans. The third Dwadashi it became difficult for him. Next time he decided, I have an idea. I have my daughter-in-law who is very young. She is smaller in age. Her fist size is smaller. I will make her sit and she will give the kidney beans. So then his daughter-in-law next time on next Dwadashi she was sitting. She is very beautiful. As the beggar saw, a beautiful girl is giving donation. Much bigger line. So in the end much more was spent than whatever he wanted to save. This example is given by Acharyas in that Damodar Leela, where Yashoda Maiya wanted to save little quantity of milk, but for saving little quantity of milk she lost much greater quantity of milk because Damodar broke all the pots. This is called as Vadhu Mash Mapanyay, the maxim of the daughter-in-law giving the donation of the kidney beans. So this is Bhojan Kautilyam. Then there are many other types of Kautilyam mentioned in Shastra. Some people are so miserly they won't even give to their own son. Kripana sva vadhu sangam na karoti bhayadiha yadi bhavati me putram same vittam harediti. A miser does not associate with his own wife because he is afraid tomorrow if a son is born to me he will take away my wealth. So there are many types of Kautilya in Shastra. I selected some of them, and also personal experience is there. So you can see that I am happy when speaking because I have personal experience of all this Kautilya. My body may be in the temple, but in many ways I also have experienced departure from the purpose of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, but I am trying to rectify myself in the association of great devotees. So, yes. Prabhuji, you wanted to say something?
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Yeah. Can we come back to you? We have a question from one devotee here, Prabhuji. We'll come back to you. Okay?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hare
Hare Krishna. You mentioned the importance of the personal relationship between the guru and disciple,
Yes.
especially with chastisement. And you even said strong chastisement. Nowadays we see some of the initiating gurus have literally tens of thousands of disciples. So how do they get that? I mean, myself, I had that good fortune.
Yeah.
Things I'll never forget, the chastisements you don't forget. So how do we do that now?
With gurus who have many disciples, it will become certainly difficult and impossible to even guide in person, what to speak of chastise in person. That is a fact. Shastra recommends personal guidance, although sometimes personal guidance cannot be had because the guru has many disciples. But the best a guru can do is that in the general class, they can give very strong words of chastisement from time to time. That dose is needed from time to time. Otherwise, the disciples are thinking everything is okay in our group because our Guru Maharaj always speaks positively. So, in a general lecture, the Guru can give strong words of chastisement from time to time because it's a sort of a compromise. Because everybody cannot have personal chastisement in this case. The fact that you had personal chastisement is very great good fortune, which cannot be had by many individuals. And that great good fortune we all should pray to have, that we should receive the chastising stick of the Guru, because those who have experienced it, they know what is the sweetness, what is the inherent sweetness of that particular chastisement. In the Gaudiya Math, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, there were two things famous about him: Prabhupader Dal, Prabhupader Gal. So those who are Bangla speaking, they understand. Prabhupader Dal means the Dal remnants, Prasad. Prabhupader Gal, his abusive words, his chastising words. Both were equally good. It is said, Prabhupader Gal, Prabhupader Dal. Both are considered equally potent, because sometimes he used to chastise very heavily his disciples. So those chastisements we should always pray for, and that makes us very nice, and it's nicely situated on the path of bhajan. But if gurus have many disciples, at least in a general lecture, they should from time to time, as my teachers used to say, tighten the screws of the disciples. So tighten the screws of the disciples from time to time. So that is needed. So I hope that satisfies your query. All right. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Brajanath Prabhu. Acha, we'll go back to him, Prabhu. He was waiting, then we'll come to you. Okay. One, we'll have Brajanath Prabhu as the last one, then we'll pause. All right. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Maharaji, first of all,
I'm Prabhu.
yeah, Prabhuji, it's okay, yeah. So, wonderful listening, such wonderful words. After such a long time, I'm hearing. My question is arising from the first question which you have answered. Talked about ISKCON is all about Krishna consciousness. So, how to be conscious of a thing which is entirely beyond consciousness? So, as far as what I know about Krishna is, in my barren intellect, so what I know is Krishna is entirely beyond the entire dimensions of whatever you say, whether senses or mind or body or intellect, even knowledge,
right,
or even consciousness. So how to be conscious of,
right,
how to be conscious of, yeah.
Okay, I'll summarize your query. Krishna is beyond the material world.
Yeah.
Our body and mind are material. How can a material body and mind become conscious of a completely spiritual entity such as Shri Krishna?
Yeah.
That's the sum and substance of the question. A direct answer to this question, because answer should be given by quoting Shastra Praman. A direct answer to this question is given by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Krishna, he says, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyai sevonmukhe hi jihvadau swayam eva sphurati adaha. This is the direct answer given by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. Sri Rupa Goswami says, Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes cannot be grasped by material senses and mind. Krishna is not an object in the supermarket that we go and put in our cart and check out. So this is not what we can do. But seva unmukhe, when we become favorable towards Krishna and we try to render service to Krishna through our senses and mind, Krishna and Krishna bhakti voluntarily will manifest on our senses. So it's not that we will grasp Shri Krishna will descend upon our mind and Shri Krishna's bhakti will descend upon our working senses. So that is the answer to your query. Thank you. Okay, I'll have a follow-up, but due to we will speak personally, but we'll have a query with Brajanath Prabhu. This is the final query. Yes.
Hare Krishna. I am happy to be in the front row. So I became even more happy when you mentioned what is pure Krishna consciousness. According to Srila Prabhupada's perception or his heart's desire, that in Pajavali Srila Rupa Goswami Pad he refers to Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati. And you just mentioned only the first line. Then in the third line there is a beautiful description. Tatra lolyam api molyam ekalam. Yeah. Would you like to share a little bit with us? What is that deep meaning? Tatra lolyam api molyam ekalam.
Yeah. So the verse from Shri Padyavali that I quoted, and part of this verse has gone in the formation of the name of our society, ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The term Krishna consciousness came from the Sanskrit Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi. Prabhu's query is that the verse has 3 more lines, but the remaining 3 lines are Kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritairna labhyate. That this intelligence and mind and consciousness drenched in Krishna Bhakti Ras, if you can purchase from somewhere, Sri Rupa Goswami says, purchase it immediately. Kriyatam. If it is available somewhere. Yadi. When Sri Rupa Goswami says yadi, if, he is expressing the fact that it is not certain where it is available and when it is available. And uncertainty has been expressed by saying yadi. If it is available. It may not be available to everybody. But if you ever find it, but how will I find it? I have to find an intelligence which is drenched in Krishna consciousness. And as far as I have heard, intelligence or minds are only with people. So I have to find a person who is drenched in Krishna Bhakti Ras. So if I find such a person whose mind is drenched in Krishna Bhakti Ras, immediately purchase association with that person. But that person will only give his association if we are also willing to pay the price. Because usually we can go to a Mahatma who has Krishna Bhakti Ras and we can say, did you hear about the US elections? Oh, yeah, I voted for this person and this person won. Now I am afraid of what will happen to the United States. So you may go to a sadhu and you may say these things, but the sadhu comes to know that we don't have laulyam. But when the sadhu is asked very specific queries, that from many days I have a desire that I wish to achieve the perfected state of Krishna Bhakti, which is described by the Acharyas as Samadhi Dasha. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur have described Samadhi Dasha. And after Samadhi Dasha comes Sampatti Dasha. Sampatti Dasha is attainment of my final spiritual nature. How will I attain this final spiritual nature? I need some guidance in this regard. Because since many days my mind has become inclined in this direction. So some seed is there. Then the sadhu will start giving the relevant answers. But unless we have that currency, we will not get the desired product. Everything else is available. Going to Vaikuntha is available. Impersonal liberation is available. Many things are available. Dharma, Artha, Kama is available. Everything is available under Shri Krishna. In the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, all these things are available. But if we want a specific goal, then we have to pay a specific price. Going back to Godhead has many meanings, including going to Vaikuntha. But if there is a specific place in Godhead that we wish to go, so that we have to pay a specific price. That cannot be obtained by paying a general ticket. We have to pay a special price for that.
Can we cultivate that like you can nowadays cultivate?
If we cultivate it, it will become a mechanical product.
But the meaning is that cultivating Krishna consciousness, anusilanam, that is
Krishna
very clear.
consciousness is first received from an existing source. The first seed is received from an existing source. Cultivation happens after the first seed is received.
But that greed, can we cultivate that greed? Lolyam.
So that greed also occurs in the heart by seeing an existing devotee who has already attained the goal. So once one develops that seed by some exceptional good fortune, then one will look for it everywhere. Vihatumichenna rasagraho jana, says the Bhagavatam. One will never desire to give up that goal of life, no matter how lofty it is. I want the highest fruit from the tallest tree, and I am willing to pay the price for it. When the devotee has that mood, then they will get the required answers. That is International Society for Krishna Consciousness, a tree which has all fruits within it. You can get Dharma, Artha, Kama in the society if you want. You can get Vaikuntha in the society if you want. You can get Dwarka in the society if you want. You can get Mathura in the society if you want. All of this is going back to Godhead. But Krishnasya chai pranaya vasati preyasibhyopi radha kundam chasya munibirabitas tadrigeva vyadhai yat preshthayirapyalama asulabham. It is very difficult to get the highest fruit from the tallest tree. But somebody who can pay the price and somebody who has the right attitude, they will be able to get it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.